And we're back talking about software services. I have Carol Lehman, CEO of Axonify, with us, and Ted Boyd, CEO of Magnify. Carol, maybe start with you after the break here. I would perceive that after COVID, when there is more movement, people starting to migrate at least part of the time back to offices, there's going to be a mix of online and in-person activity. So how does a firm like yours, do you have to sort of pick a lane, or do you offer both segments something?
We are 100% software as a service. And while we support classroom-based training or in-person training, as many organizations have to do, we have seen a very strong trend over the last, I would say, 5 years to what was 80% classroom-based training to now more than 50% software-based training exclusively. Mm-hmm. And we only think that trend is going to continue. So COVID definitely has pushed it along, but it is a trend that is going to continue. And when you look at the ROI and the efficacy of both types of training, there's no contest. Right. Doing it online is the winner every time.
Ted Boyd, what's your experience at Magnify?
Well, I would, again, concur with Carol. I mean, if we think back to the days of Alexa, Alexa was, Carol, you'll remember those days as well. Alexa was I guess you could say, the grandmother of online training. And I think what Carol's done with her team is build upon that experience. And I concur completely. I mean, most of our training is done online. And certainly in this past environment in the last year, it's been more so. And I would argue that will only pick up steam as we head back toward what is our new normal.
Ted, you're also a big thinker about looking at the big picture. Maybe I guess everybody's got to do that as a CEO regardless. But first of all, is Canada prepared for what happens next? And how is Canada preparing for that? I know that's a big question, but I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I think we're better prepared than we've been ever when it comes to technology at a baseline. And technology thinking. And I think that certainly sort of the past 4 years south of the border have really opened a lot of eyes to the benefits of Canada and the benefits that a Canadian presence, not to mention a Canadian head office even, might have. So I really feel as if there are a lot of strategic conversations going on about the future of Canada and where we belong in the firmament of the world. And I'm very optimistic about it generally. I don't see people heading south and talking about heading south the way we would have even 5 or 10 years ago.
Carol, is that your experience too? Do you feel optimistic about Canada's preparedness for the software as service and the online world in the future?
Yes, I completely agree with everything Ted said. And it is a case that there are very significant, meaningful conversations being had around innovation in this country, around IP protection, around funding of early stage entities within Canada. And those conversations need to grow, expand, have more of them, and move to things like policy change. And all of its goodness, from my point of view, it's moving in the right direction. And, we're on a path and we need to stay on that path.
So you're basically optimistic?
I am, very.
Yeah. Good. Sorry, Ted, go ahead. Yeah.
I said likewise.
Oh, good. I guess my next question is, Ted, what does business have to do better for what is coming? You're seeing the trends, you're seeing the direction. What has business got to do?
I would say foundationally, two things that Carol and I might share here today are this notion that the workforce has foundationally changed in the last year. I mean, I don't think anyone would intend a global pandemic to occur, but coming out of a global pandemic, I don't see a return to sort of office dwelling and the odd person working from home. I see some kind of hybrid model coming, and I see a lot more creativity in that regard. And I think business needs to really think that through and be prepared, because we will be out of this thing in the next 6 months to a year. We all hope we will. And when that happens, and it is when, I think there will be major opportunity to be had by positioning oneself properly for the changes that we are seeing unfold right now.
Carol Lehman, hold that thought. We're going to take another break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us.